Hey everybody, welcome to episode 3 of Zero Impact on Infinity, and I'm just going to show you quickly where I am, and I'm going to do this all the time because this is my waterfall. I also need to apologise to a few people who I said I wouldn't come out on the river because I'm actually really ill. I don't know if you see my eyes, but they're quite red. So sorry Rich, sorry Lead, Robbie, who told me it's fine to come out but not to come to the waterfall. Sometimes your spirit has to be fed, and this river does something to me. I also want to thank you for your feedback for the 2 episodes and for subscribing, so please do subscribe to this video channel because that's going to be very helpful. I am going to do 50 regardless. I like my targets. And I talked with a friend of mine who I met when I did an improv course in Brighton, which was amazing. It must be about 10 years ago now. And he's up on an island in the middle of right at the top of Scotland, in the Hebrides, I guess. And I was just telling him, because he's out in the middle of nature, and it's more wild than here, I'm sure. But I was just talking to him, and he said, I said, I've fallen in love with this river. And I mean, I really have. I come out and I don't even know that I'm churning. And what happens is that, sorry, I'm turning around here. What happens is that when I get back, I can feel like, it's almost like the liquid in my body has just paced itself to the river, and I feel completely different, and it's an incredibly odd feeling. Anyway, so Craig, hi Craig, he said to me that the river knows itself through you, and you know yourself through the river. And I was just taken aback by that, because I think it's really helped me. But actually I can see, of course, there's always going to be a circular effect, because that's what nature does. And so the river knows itself through me was like just a moment. So it is a very hot day. It is winter. No, I'm still going to be using the summer stuff because I am too ill to actually come on this river very much, and we have the most incredible day, and I'm wetsuited up and high-tech jumpers underneath and everything. And I just want you to enjoy episode 3. Okay, bye. Okay, I'm in the car. It's a bloody hot day. Here we go. It's car bitching time. Oh no, you're moving around too much. Wow, let me see. Right, so the platitude for today, and one I really have grown to hate because maybe I believed it to begin with, is time heals all wounds. Well, unless you're associating time with your death, when it will all be way too late, and you're fine with that, then that's fine. But I can assure you that time does not heal all wounds. Because the fact is that all wounds never get healed. You know that from your own body. If you've broken your leg or something like that, it will never heal completely. And the older you get, it's going to be even worse. So physically that's not possible. Or you cut yourself really deeply, you'll hold a scar pretty much all your life. And so is the same with emotion. The best that can happen is that you will learn to love the scar that you have carried, and for you to understand that scar has become you, has made you. But time will not heal all wounds. And in fact, the older you get, the more you're going to see that there are patterns that you've got. You're going to find yourself back in the same patterns, and you're going to think, if you're lucky, you're going to realise that it is a pattern because other people don't have this pattern happen to them. And that's going to be a wound that you're going to work with most of your life. I don't say you won't acknowledge it. I don't say you won't release it, because all of that is possible. But to do that, what I've recognised about pain is you have to rupture, you have to go, you have to feel that pain. You have to be that pain and know that pain is also you. And it's a wonderful part of you. because of course pain emotionally is terrible, and we hide from it, but it's also one of the more real emotions, and it usually means that something that you wanted to happen didn't happen, and now you have pain. But that's not a bad thing. So it's a load of bullshit, so don't go around saying it. Here's a Mayan prayer for you with my waterfall behind me. I got it from Martin Pretchell, so here it goes. Long life, honey in the heart, white roads paved with the eyebrows of the moon, which is sea foam. Yellow roads, all coloured roads, paved with abundance, which is from the tail of the morning star, which is a deer. No evil, 13 thank yous. From the waterfall, can you see it? There you go. Always good to say a Mayan prayer at the beginning of a day. Good morning from the Zezere River in Portugal. My subject today is beauty, and this idea of youth that has like permeated our culture, and certainly my generation. So what you'll have, like, I remember like reading Cosmopolitan for a bit. I soon gave that up. But I remember reading Cosmopolitan, and like it would always start off with something like, all you got to do is just, you know, just be yourself. That's all that's required. And then there'd be a list of how to actually make yourself more beautiful. However, what I wanna really capture today is the fact that we are all trapped in that. So this idea that we can all say, oh no, we just want to be authentic, and you know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, or whatever. Yeah, that, you know, of course that happens in terms of love and friendship and all that sort of thing. But I want to just talk about the cultural paradigm, if you like, of this idea that beauty is everything, and therefore youth is everything, and everyone has to hold on that, and we know that, right? So we're all in the pursuit of that, and within that pursuit is like really horrendously dark value system that it's fucking us all up, really. Yeah, so I really wanted to just say that, you know, yeah, you know, have your Botox, you know, if it makes you feel better, do your breasts if it makes you feel better. I mean, you know, we're all stuck in this idea that we have to pretend to love aging naturally, or you know, more beautifully, or whatever, and it's just shit, because the whole thing around us is telling us that's not true. It's valuing youth to an extent that it makes absolutely no sense at all, and even the youth doesn't get it. You know, it's not like, for myself, it's not like I feel any more or less attractive than when I was 20, and that's because the fucking shit is inside. It's not actually on the outside. And actually, aging has made it even worse, because it's the most obvious hook that society wants to put that on. Well, you're too old, or, you know, obviously you were more beautiful 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever. And it's a mind fuck. And so someone like me can now easily place that all my problems on being older, and it's just not true, because the truth actually is that I feel as ugly, exactly the same amount of percentage, times of days, times of the month, times of the year, you know, I don't know, the whole thing, right? There is no difference in that percentage. The only difference is that people assume that actually you feel much worse because you're older. And within that assumption of that cultural thing, you start to believe that. So now it's more shit. But actually it's just the same shit. And yeah, maybe we'll go into that further. It's not that youth is not beautiful. Now, of course that's true. But it's the weight that we've given it, and the implication that by giving it that weight, there's no more weight left for other beauty. But anyway, so I suppose what I'm saying is that don't fall for it. In the sense that, of course, you're not going to feel beautiful, because we're in a paradigm where you're not shown how to express that beauty, if you like. Not when you're younger. Not when you're younger. You know, for myself, it's like I can't look at photographs of myself like straight after. I've never been able to do that. And of course now I can look back to a photograph 20 years and go, bloody hell, you know. And that will happen now. If I take a photo now and in 20 years I'll look back and I'll go, wow, you know. So the whole thing is just a freaking game, and you have to find a way to at least acknowledge it. And you know, the bottom line is that I sit now on this river talking to you with my Zero Impact on Infinity YouTube channel to try and like disseminate some of the information, or at least, you know, question some of the stuff that like I've bought into, to at least not say it's difficult to change. I'm not saying that, but at least acknowledge, try and understand that when you look at all the adults, if you're younger watching this, if you look at all the adults, who do you think you're going to be? Because youth will go. So that's the first thing. The second thing is really try and find out what you think about yourself. Because although of course it's true that beauty is going to shine from within, without a doubt, that is energy. Beauty is really energy at the end of the day, shiny energy. The more, you know, your purpose in life, you can even say, is just to get your energy to shine. That will help you a lot. But yeah, today I just want to acknowledge that of course we all feel like shit. We live in a world that actually supports us feeling that shit. You know, it's not useful for women to feel really beautiful. It's useful for them to try and be more beautiful all the time for other people. You know, you'll know it. If you're dressing for other people now, stop it. Dress for yourself. If you, if you save all your best outfits for, you know, times that you go out, whatever, stop it. Start wearing shit that you really like all the time. It's my advice on this Sunday morning on a river. But don't underestimate that society has absolutely bought into this idea that beauty and youth is everything. And actually what I suggest you do, and if you're older watching this, then really you're hot or you're not. Does someone find you hot or not? If you want to deal with the sensual side of it. That's all you need to know. It's not about, oh, you look good for your age. I mean, what fucking compliment is that? Am I hot or not? Otherwise I'm not really interested. I don't mind if you don't find me hot. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that let's stop boxing everything, you know? I didn't believe in the age thing, you know, when I was 15, 16, and I'm fucked if I'm going to start hooking all my issues onto being older, because at the end of the day, my energy is as shiny as it was back then, and that I think I have really learnt to feed that, so I feel better about it. So that's it. I just wanted to say, if you are feeling like you're not attractive, it's not about you, it's about some idea that you've bought into, and start working on it, regardless of whether you're 80 years old or whether you are 20 years old. Fucking change this shit. Mwah. But before I go, in episode 3, I just want to show you where I am sitting in the middle. It's a beautiful spot. It's on the Zezere in Portugal. I'm going to say this a lot, but it's a river carved in the Ice Age. So this is where I've been talking to myself in the river for the last 6 months. And what's interesting is that I had a really strange summer. So rather than trying to solve everything, which is my overthinking brain, I would come out here and I would just say what happened. Like, I woke up this morning and I ate a banana, and then I did this and then I did that, and then that happened. Then I said that, and then that happened. And it was really a relief not to try and solve everything, but just to say it how it was for me. And I think that's quite a powerful thing that I've learned. I don't know if it's useful for you to know that. But meanwhile, just a few more seconds of this. Ah, just before you go, can you see? I don't know if you can see, but I'm moving, right? I'm just sitting on this paddleboard. In fact, I'm going to lie down on this paddleboard and just float back to the car. Can you see? Just very slowly with the wind. There's actually no flow in this river because it's dammed each side, which I suppose is not a natural thing, but on the other hand, it means I can go up and down and I'm not fighting currents, and I feel incredibly safe, and I can come out here on my own. So this is what I do. This is on a good day. Very, very calm to go to the waterfall and just lie back in the sun and float back to the car. I know, it's a good life.